season on today?
Bounty's been started. Guys, have you heard of Nickelodeon's new series Warped for 1 minute?
Oh, thank God you said a minute.
Right. Yeah. No, we don't do the long bounties around here. We just
I was finna abandon you like most people's lads.
What are you, my father? Okay, so here's this is Warped, guys. This is Warped. It's a new series on Nickelodeon. I don't know how many Sin Cells are in the Nickelodeon age, but this is
Thursday.
That's loud.
Welcome to Warped.
Darby's always dressing up as different characters. I don't even think she owns normal clothes.
This one's itchy. I think there are bugs in my leaves.
You guys like cosplay?
It's impressive how much work you put into being lazy. Thanks. It's a gift.
I can actually speak creepak. Nice to meet you too.
Join the team.
You two are the best.
Yeah, we're
Chat, join the team.
Dream team?
Thursday at 7:30.
I'm sorry that was so loud. It took me a minute to find the volume button. Thursday at 7:30. Chat. The Grazers who lived. I'm gonna Roblox. You better Roblox yourself into some Warped by Nickelodeon. Oh, our minute's up. Okay, good work, chat. I'm proud of all of us. I'm glad we were able to do that together. They in iCarly's new apartment kind of looked like it.
Hey, bro, she not using it.
Isn't she actually using it? Didn't they reboot iCarly?
I don't know. I haven't watched it. Gibby's not on the show, and I stopped caring. Or Sam.
Do some more. Let's get this bread. Honestly, I would, but too many Grazers left, which is fine. You know, we got a little one and done. We're feeling good about everything. We did what we set out to do today.
Yeah, bro. They won't call us. We'll call them.
Did you guys see I made a tweet earlier? I don't know how familiar you guys are with Nicole, aka Honey Bell.
Oh no.
But
Please, bro. I just got over the hurt.
she came in earlier. Hom and I were talking about football. We were talking about the playoffs, right? NFL, all that. And Nicole came in and we were talking about, you know, she was like, "Oh, hey, Nicole, you talk about sports?" Like, basically, we asked Nicole how much does she know about sports, just in general, like, whatever. Because she wasn't into football. We said, "How much do you know about sports, Nicole?" And she said, right here, I have the screenshot. It's in the tweet I made. She said, "I like Kobe Bryant." So if you guys want to know how much she knows about sports,
Oh man, just fell to my knees.
she likes Kobe Bryant. Here's the tweet to anyone interested.
I just fell to my knees in my chair. It's insane.
If it means anything, the second thing she said was, "I like Shaquille O'Neal," and she spelled it all perfect.
Yeah, and that man got a lot of fucking vowels in his name. Shit, I be fucking up Shaquille O'Neal sometimes. Also, speaking of sports, Serena Williams, fan of NFTs.
I'm pretty sure being rich just disconnects you from the human population too much. Pretty sure rich people just fall off because they're rich.
Pretty much. But I saw the somebody quote tweeted one of her tweets, and it's her saying good morning, and it's like that pink NFT monkey.
Twitter's a fan of NFTs.
Yeah.
Twitter's like lead
What's that
marketing.
one guy's name?
Jack?
Troy Baker.
Oh yeah, Troy Baker.
Yeah, that man got cooked.
I'm pretty sure Troy Baker knows literally next to nothing about NFTs. They just offered him a fat fucking stack, and he said, "Yeah, sure, whatever."
Hey guys, maybe y'all should be open-minded to this. And everybody ethered him, and he was like, "Well, I apologize for my outburst."
He said, "You can hate or you can create,"
He
and
definitely-
everyone fucking hated. Like, get the fuck out of here.
People were creating ass whoopings, bro. I ain't never seen a man get roasted like that in my life.
The ratio was off the charts. Troy Baker's an NFT. I don't think Troy Baker's necessarily into NFTs. If I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's in things I like, which I probably shouldn't, but I am. I think an NFT company offered him a shit ton of money, and he didn't look twice. He just said, "Yeah, sure, whatever," not knowing.
She's married to the creator of Reddit, so I guess this all makes sense.
Serena is?
Yeah.
That dude's like Giga MAGA.
Yeah, she's married to a Reddit co-founder, and if you look at his Twitter, he also has the fancy rhombus-shaped NFT profile picture.
Okay, I don't know which Reddit co-founder it is. I think it's Spaz. I think Spaz is the Giga MAGA guy. Don't worry, it'll be the Cowboys' year next year, like every year. That was, oh my God, Hom, the fucking... Steven replied to you with Stephen A. Smith making fun of the Cowboys.
Oh no, bro! I went on a field day. Like, granted, like this was like, so what was it? The car accident was Friday, so like Sunday is when the pain kind of all hit me.
Hold on, can we pop off on that in a second? I just saw a comment I want to address real quick. He said he wanted to help provide a service that's needed in smaller games and game dev. Robo Voice is kind of rough, so it makes sense. Two things, Spy Scout. Number one, the NFT thing he was shilling for, their Robo Voice is stolen from another company who was working on it that wasn't an NFT, I'm pretty sure, because you can do that without doing NFTs. Secondly, in the long run, that's good for people like him and Nolan North and Yuri Lowenthal and all the people already at the top, Laura Bailey, all the people already at the top of the voice acting thing, and it's bad for new and aspiring voice actors, because what the Robo Voice technology is actually going to do is it's going to take someone, you know how text-to-speech exists? Because someone says a bunch of syllables and says a bunch of shit, and then they can lap that into words, even though they haven't said every word ever. It would be like a text-to-speech thing, except for they would use voices like Yuri Lowenthal's or Troy Baker's or Nolan or whoever, right? And they would use those to fill up parts for smaller game devs and smaller game companies at a discount. So I can get Nolan North for cheap. If I can get Nolan North sounding voice for cheap, why would I hire a new aspiring voice actor? And it would actually thin the market out for voice actors as a whole. It's another case of the people at the top would be eating, because they would still get a cut from that, even if it's not as much as normal. And people at the bottom would begin to phase out. Like, every single aspect of that, layered from top to bottom, was horrendous. Anyway, Stephen A. Smith making fun of the Cowboys, Hom. Where were you?
Right. So, in pain, and then my team loses, and then I see people making fun of the Eagles, and I was like, well, really hope the fucking Cowboys lose. And then, the moment the clock strikes 0, and they pull off some backyard football NFL street tomfoolery, and just lose the game, just threw their season out the window, I went on a tirade. I tweeted out a picture of a QB draw. I was like, let's scare some Cowboys
on
fans.
Madden? The fucking Madden QB.
Like, oh, hold on. I want to find this tweet.
Steven replied with a Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith goes on like a 6-minute rant where he keeps making the graphics guy put up the shots of the Cowboys fans crying while he's laughing his ass off.
Yes.
Michael Irvin's over there just taking it like a champ, but he's upset. Like, yeah, the whole thing. The reason I even thought of that in the first place was because somebody said that, don't worry, it'll be Cowboys year next year, like every year. And Stephen A. Smith, in the middle of that long-ass rant, started laughing. He says, you know what's good? He said, this is the first year in like 10 years where I haven't heard a Cowboys fan say, next year's our year. This is the first time I haven't heard that in a decade.
Cowboys fans are also in shambles because Mike McCarthy is staying as the coach, and they're just fucking pissed. And I'm sitting here, I'm just eating this. I'm just happy. Happy camper.
People who know football, did the Cowboys do a little better this year before they crashed? Yes, they look good most of the season.
They also really played against dick-ass teams.
I think they were missing Dak for some of it.
Nope.
Was he there the whole year?
They were missing Dak. They missed Dak for like 2-3 games.
Yeah.
Let's see. I could tell you exactly. Let me just go to the Cowboys. I'm just gonna go to NFL. Just go to ESPN real quick. Go to the Cowboys real quick. I could tell you. So the Cowboys lost to the Buccaneers. Beat the Chargers, Eagles, Panthers, Giants, Patriots, Vikings. Then lose to the Broncos. Then beat the Falcons. Then lose to the Chiefs and the Raiders. Then beat the Saints and Washington and the Giants and Washington. And then lose to the Cardinals.
They beat like 2 good teams. And that entire thing you rattled off, they beat 2, maybe 3 good teams.
They beat the Chargers in week 2, and then they beat the Patriots before the Patriots decided to go on that massive run. Because, like, I could go to the Patriots. I feel like the Patriots were 2-4 when they beat them.
Were the Vikings okay?
No.
Were the Panthers okay?
No.
The Vikings weren't good. They were just Justin Jefferson. Then.
The Vikings had Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins couldn't beat the backup quarterback to Dallas. Because that was the game that Dak was out. But funny enough,
Pip said it. They beat. Granted, the Chargers should have been in the playoffs, but Pip said they beat one playoff team.
Pretty much, they beat They beat the Patriots before the Patriots went on their run, because after the Patriots lost to the Cowboys, they won on a 6-game winning streak, beating the Jets, Chargers, Panthers, Browns, Falcons, Titans, Bills. So out of those 6 games, they beat 3 playoff teams. In fact, they blew out the best team in the AFC by 23. So the Cowboys really haven't beaten anybody.
Patriots 2 wins at that point. We're both against the Jets. Good God, what a stat.
Actually, what? No. The Patriots 2 wins at that point. Well, one of them was the Jets. The other one was the Texans.
Whoa, even worse.
Because they lost to the Dolphins the first game, beat the Jets the second, lost to the Saints, lost to the Buccaneers because homeboy missed a field goal, beat the Texans, lost to the Cowboys, ran off 6 straight, lost to the Colts, then lost to the Bills, beat Jacksonville by 40, and then lost to the Dolphins at the last game.
Really ran it up on Jacksonville.
Well, I mean, who doesn't? The Colts, that's who. Because that's, Jacksonville won 3 games this year. To beat the Dolphins by 3 somehow. They beat the Bills by 3 somehow. And then beat the Colts by 15.
Pat, when it comes to the Jets, let me tell you what I think the least likely scenario is. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying it's the least likely scenario is that the Jets slowly build around Trevor Lawrence and become a good and competitive team. So my question is...
The Jets?
Right. Not the Jets. I said Jets. I meant Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Jacksonville. Slowly build around Trevor Lawrence and become a good team. I think that's the least likely thing. So my question is, does A, Trevor Lawrence fall off, or B, how long does it take before he gets traded to a team where he can try to do something? Where we can find out if he's actually good or not.
So it's its first year of a 5-year contract.
Are rookie contracts not automatically defaulted to like 2 years out of the gate?
They're 4 years, and then you have the option to pick up a 5th year.
Gotcha.
So I give it by year 4. He's probably going to get the Baker Mayfield treatment. We'll see what he does in 4 years.
You think it's going to Browns?
Huh?
You think the team might Browns where like over time they actually kind of become something?
Maybe, but then the Browns suck now again.
Yeah, that too.
And it's because of the quarterback. I like how they tried to blame Odell. Odell had like, what, 3 touchdowns in the Browns in like 27 games or some crazy shit like that. And then caught a touchdown in every game he played for the Rams this year. And is balling out in the playoffs.
He is balling out in the playoffs. Rams
So
are
much
scary.
so that they gave him a random quote-unquote PED test.
Yeah. Rams have been scary. Like they fell off for a couple weeks, but other than that, they've been scary all season.
Baker was hurt all year. Was he hurt last year when he couldn't beat the Chiefs' backup quarterback?
Fucking Chad. Fucking Giga Chad. Giga Chad Henne came out. Oh, that's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm not fucking around. That's one of my favorite Chiefs games ever is when Giga Chad came out and fucking ran it for the first.
Bro, I remember that game because I remember him being short, and I was like, bro, what is this game?
Giga Chad anything is possible, fucking runs that shit. And then Andy Reid does the craziest play in the world where everyone thinks it's a fake snap or like where you don't go. And it's just to draw him off sides. And then he fucking runs it and backup quarterback makes the throw.
Oh, man. No, but the refs fucked that game. Sounds like you're just making excuses for Baker Mayfield, who is an above average quarterback at best.
What is going? Is that my rules? Is that in my rule set? I feel like I redid those a month or 2 ago. That might actually be what I put.
What?
One of my chat rules is bully kids to watch anime and also watch anime.
Of course. Yeah, that's the thing. If Baker focused on winning the way he did those progressive commercials, Cleveland would be in the playoffs.
But I bet he got his bag from the Baker commercials.
Yep. Got his bag, but at what cost?
He lives in the stadium now. He's homeless.
Pretty much.
Fucking Giga Chad Henne coming in.
What was Baker's stats last year? Baker went 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
He also has like 2 top 10 running backs in his backfield.
Yeah. Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. So let's see. Baker, his rookie year, went 27-14. Pretty solid. For a rookie, 27 touchdowns and 14 picks. Really good. Second year in the league, 22 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. Third year in the league, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Last year, 17 touchdowns, 13 picks. Who also were hurt most of the year. Are you a Browns fan, Dragon Master Rick?
You know who was hurt for part of the year? Derrick Henry, still 9th in rushing. He had like 9th overall rushing yards while being out
My
for
man, for the longest time was the league leading rusher while hurt.
Yeah, for several weeks after he went out.
That shit was insane.
I'm a Bears fan. You should celebrate that your coach got fired.
I wouldn't. I remember the last time they celebrated their coach getting fired, and then they got Matt Nagy.
Yeah, but like, surely they can't go lower.
I mean, they went from John Fox to Matt Nagy. He also ended top 10 in carries. Jesus Christ.
This D guy in squad. There's a couple guys in squad who are into wrestling, but yeah, Hom watches wrestling. Hom watches wrestling, Babylon watches wrestling.
The guy in squad that called every Roman Brock Lesnar match correctly. For like 4 years. And hated it.
Hated it. Did not want to be right.
Because I would always be in your Discord in that fucking chat room, and I'm just like, yeah, guys. Everybody's like, nah, man, Roman's gonna win this one. No way they let Brock win. Alright. But what if, right? Brock beats this nigga at Mania again. Nah, they wouldn't do that. End of the match. Brock wins. Damn, bruh. You hate to see it. I was also the one that called they're gonna ruin Shinsuke by turning him heel. And lo and behold, I was right.
If you're gonna do GM mode, funnily enough, Hom was talking about doing that earlier, or us doing that earlier.
We'll figure something out. But yeah, if your team has Baker Mayfield as your quarterback, be prepared for mediocrity.
Do you think Baker Mayfield is not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, or do you think he could Matthew Stafford his way into something?
Nope. Because Baker Mayfield is going to need weapons of all weapons.
Before this season, chat, throw this season out of the window. Before this season, if you were asked to pick a quarterback for your team that you're making, would you have picked Baker Mayfield or Matt Stafford?
Which team?
If you're building and your quarterback is your very first pick, you're starting a fresh team on a fantasy draft.
Right.
Not like for
Stafford. Stafford hands down, because Stafford was putting up numbers in fucking Detroit. The moment he left Detroit, they almost went over. Again.
Because, and granted, my knowledge of the Lions was extremely minimal, but I feel like I would have picked Baker. Before this season, I feel like I would have picked Baker.
Nah, y'all capping? Bro, you gotta realize, Baker's average. He is the Kirk Cousins of the AFC.
Ooh, calling Baker Kirk is rough. I thought he was better than that.
At this point, Baker done had 4 years. Ain't got shit to show for it.
They kept trying to replace him in Detroit, but he kept winning the job out.
Because here's the thing, you can say Matthew Stafford had Megatron. Okay. Who else did he have?
For like an hour.
Who else did he have? Baker was bad this year. Other than that, he's been pretty good. He couldn't beat a backup quarterback.
You get Chad Henne, baby.
I don't know, like, what reason of he can't beat a backup quarterback? Also, week 1, he was healthy and choked against the Chiefs.
They were supposed to beat us in week 1, and that's when we were bad, too. We had not gotten our groove back.
If you can't take advantage of a rusty Chiefs team, I quite frankly don't expect you to do shit.
Stafford never had a running game, no help, and maybe 1 or 2 receivers and no blocking.
Yeah, Stafford was literally by himself, willing the franchise to something. And so far, all I hear for Baker are excuses.
Anyway, Rams have been really scary since week 1. I remember when week 1 happened, right? Chiefs were the heavy favorites to win the Super Bowl, like Vegas odds. If you were betting right then and there, who's winning the Super Bowl, right? It was Chiefs. It was Chiefs by a bit. Chiefs lost, right? And, everybody who won, but the Chiefs lost the game. Week 2, Vegas betting odds. Who's winning the Super Bowl? Chiefs are still number 1 by a bit. Week 2 happens. Wait, no. Did we lose to the Browns in week 1? Or did we beat the Browns in week 1? And then we lost.
You beat the Browns 33-29.
Yeah. No. Okay, so we beat the Browns in week 1. Week 2, we lost, right? Chiefs are heavy Vegas odds. Week 2, we lost. It goes into week 3. Chiefs are still Vegas odds, even with a loss, right? Chiefs lose.
Yeah, y'all lost again.
Chiefs lose again. Going into the 4th week, Vegas odds. Who's still number 1? The fucking Chiefs were still at the top of the... That's what a gap they had on everybody else. Vegas still had them as the heavy on favorites to win the Super Bowl with a record of 1-2 to open the season. That was hilarious to me. And then, lo and behold, here we are. If we beat the Bills, we're looking really good.
Yes, sir.
Pimp definitely just said the name of a guy I've never heard before in my life as their starting running back.
Somebody said Reggie Bush and realized that Reggie Bush was like 30-something.
And he also was good for 2 seasons ever. Like,
Reggie Bush was solid on the Saints.
he could catch a pass.
Yep. Speaking of catching the pass, I'm never going to forget Reggie Bush catching that pass and Sheldon Brown.
Where he got fucking mollywopped. Yeah.
Sending him to God, baby!
Yeah. Holy shit. There's a clip out there of Reggie Bush getting smacked. If you look up Reggie Bush hit, chat, you'll find it. Reggie Bush got fucking obliterated.
Shout out Sheldon Brown. One of my favorite Philadelphia Eagles.
Breeze? Did Breeze leave him hanging out there to die?
Yep. Yes, he did. As he should.
I saw people on the NFL Network chat trying to hype up the 49ers. They said the 49ers are a bad matchup. They said for everybody, but more so the Packers. Because 49ers offense has like 3 different players that can play half the offense.
Yeah, Debo's living up to his name.
Debo will go anywhere. They said they could throw out fucking Juszczyk, the fullback, and put him in tight end or wherever the fuck if they want to. Like, they said that team is scary. And then there's one more guy that can move around a little bit and makes things weird.
Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I said Green Bay can't match not knowing what package they're in.
They come guarding Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I have no faith in that defense.
All it takes is for fucking Aaron Rodgers to look at Devontae and say, fuck it, Devontae down there somewhere.
49ers have one objectively good player on offense. Is Kittle out? Or is Kittle just not playing?
Kittle plays. You got Kittle. You got Debo. Hell, 49ers are really good at grabbing bumfuck running backs.
Are you going to tell me Juszczyk isn't a good player? You're just saying the fullback position is not that impactful?
It depends on the offense.
Granted, there's like 4 fullbacks in the league anymore, like pure fullbacks, but isn't Juszczyk like number 1 easily in the fullback department?
Then you got Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy, I could have had a Super Bowl ring if I didn't overthrow Emmanuel Sanders. Garoppolo. Jimmy, I'm up by 10, but fuck it. Choking the lead down there somewhere, Garoppolo.
Thank fucking God. If Jimmy could throw, they would be Super Bowl champs. 100%. If Jimmy, he just whiffed some fucking shots.
Because like even when the Chiefs took the lead again, Emmanuel Sanders broke free, and he just overthrew him. Right, but this is my chance to say this. Everybody's shitting on Jalen Hurts, talking about his arm's not all the way there. Oh, he's a running quarterback. Oh, this, that, and the third. Look at Kyler Murray.
Hurts, don't it? Kyler fell off. I was so hopeful for that kid.
Look at Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray looked like the most entertaining dude to watch in football, and then he fucking fell on hard times.
My man turned into a scared little kid in the playoffs. Instead of taking a safety, he said, fuck it, a pick 6 instead.
Devontae Adams made Chad Ochocinco cry. When and how did this happen?
I think he was watching his routes and he was like, oh, or some shit like that. I don't know. Just take the sack. Like, literally just take the sack. Kyler Murray is looking like Carson Wentz out there. And I can say this because I've had Carson Wentz for like 4 or 5 years.
He looked like Patty during the bad weeks in the beginning of the season. Patty was doing shit like that.
Yeah, I was looking at Mahomes like, bro, what the fuck you doing? Enough with the no-look passes. Between that and your brother, y'all starting to piss me off.
Pat, I found something out by talking to Hom a couple weeks ago, and that is that Kansas City fans and people who live in the Kansas, Missouri area do not hear the Jackson Mahomes stories. Because if they do, nobody spreads it because nobody gives a shit. I fully come to understand that the rest of America, in terms of football fans, is keenly aware of what Jackson Mahomes is doing any other week when he does some fuck off shit, and the news never reaches Kansas City fans somehow.
There was a week when you guys came to Philly to play, when we like retired LaShawn McCoy's number and all that, and good old Jackie Mahomes threw a drink at an Eagles fan. Just because, I don't know, something happened. They were talking shit to him, so he threw a drink at them. And then security had to save him from getting his ass beat because the fuck you doing fucking with Philly fans?
Yeah, that's
You can't find an article on it anymore.
That's the danger
Nobody
zone.
talked about it, and I was just sitting there like, excuse the fuck me. If we did that, they'd be talking about it 100 years from now. We threw snowballs at Santa Claus in the 80s because he showed up to the game drunk. And he was scaring the kids. Drunk.
Yeah.
And they threw snowballs at him. And they bring that up to this day.
Pissing off Philly fans is the danger zone, as it is.
Like Minnesota fans came to Philadelphia during the NFC Championship game a couple years ago and put a Vikings jersey on the Rocky statue.
Oh shit.
And then got mad that we started talking shit when we beat them 38-7. They was like, oh, they have no class. Shut up.
That was like, it's like when the Raiders came out and they did their warm-ups on our logo for disrespect or whatever, and then we won by like 40.
It was like, bro, don't get mad. You started this.
Chiefs
Y'all
put
are
up-
talking reckless.
He's put up 45 on him or some shit like that.
That's true. I'm never gonna forget that Vikings game. Just seeing a bunch of Eagles fans do the skull chant after each touchdown we scored was top 10 toxic moments in my life.
Didn't Jackson Mahomes dance on the Sean Taylor Memorial? If he...
Yes.
Okay, so that's
definitely
I got word from a Washington football team fan who was at the game. Jackson Mahomes apparently tweeted. This one I did hear about, funnily enough. Jackson Mahomes tweeted and said they literally directed us to stand on this spot. We didn't know it was like a memorial. They thought it was just another spray paint area because that dude's number was everywhere. That dude's number is everywhere in the stadium on that day, right? That was the whole thing. The whole stadium was like a memoriam thing, and one of the sections that had his name spray painted on it was literally roped off for them to go stand in. They were told to go stand into him, and then that area was for them when they did it. And he did that, and he said that on Twitter, which that's him, so whatever. But there were multiple Washington football teams who said they were in the stands that day and like confirmed it basically and said, yeah, they literally told him to go do that. Like Jackson Mahomes is a fuckhead, but he didn't do that shit on like intentionally or whatever. That was like when they directed the family where to go, they told him that area is reserved for you, which I don't know where the fucking confusion was in that department, but
He's about to get jujued.
Later, Fuzzy.
Have the Vikings ever been good? They had a couple years.
Were they ever worth a shit when Favre was on there?
They made it to the NFC Championship game, and that's when Favre threw that when he played the Saints. And they were literally on track to win. They were about to win that game. And Brett Favre pulled a Brett Favre and ran right and threw it across his body left, and it got picked off.
Prime Dante Culpepper, yeah, which was like 2001. That's so fucking long ago. That's so
was,
fucking long ago.
There was Gary Anderson. That kicker hasn't missed a kick in like years. And that kick would have put him up by 10 and essentially sealed that game, and he missed it.
Gary Anderson or Morton Anderson? Morty Anderson.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Gary Anderson. Hold on.
Because
Gary Anderson.
Morty
kicker.
Anderson was a kicker for the Chiefs, and he went to go to Minnesota during his last years.
Yep, Gary Anderson.
Okay.
Because he was number one for the Vikings. Because Gary Anderson played for the Titans. Yep, shout out Gary. But what else? The Vikings had. There was that year with Culpepper and all them, and like they had Randall Cunningham at one point. Then there was the year that Adrian Peterson said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna recover out of an ACL and MCL tear in 4 months and win MVP."
Oh my God, 9 yards. What? That broke my heart.
I was like,
Come to find out he's a piece of shit, so it ended up being fine. But at the time, that broke my
At that point, I was just like, my brother was like, "Oh man, 9 yards is whatever. They're gonna make the playoffs," and I was like, "They're not gonna beat the Packers in the playoffs. Get him those 9 yards."
Get him in there.
Like, just let him win. Let him just get it. Yo, man, y'all want to talk about bounties? Fucking Philadelphia's defense in the 80s and 90s was monstrous. Like we had Reggie White. His nickname was literally Ministry of Defense. He was out here prime 2001 caning people. How would you feel as an offensive lineman? You about like 6'5", 350. You're a pretty big guy, right? And you have this you just got this guy just with one hand throws you to God in front of your family and friends. I'd simply retire and work at Best Buy.
I feel like Josh Allen made beating Mahomes his reason for breathing, but Mahomes is still Superman. I don't think Josh Allen did that. I think the media did that. The fucking NFL media did that. Because they did that with Lamar and Patty, too. Yeah. And Lamar beat Patty early on in the season, and look where they're both at now. I feel like Josh Allen and Mahomes is like more of the showdown, but they're both going to be fine regardless how this next game goes.
I'm going to keep it a fat stack. I want to see Bengals Chiefs again.
Me too.
I want to see that again for the sole purpose of that has the potential to be Chiefs Rams from a couple years ago all over again.
Andy has never been more pissed about a game ever than he was the Cincinnati Chiefs game. So I'm excited to see how he would respond to that one.
I think the last time I saw him that angry was in Philadelphia.
He's never been that mad as a Kansas City guy, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, like he went to Kansas City and was just like, fuck it, bro. I'm dealing with a lot of shit already. Because I think his last year in Philly, his son died. So that was already like a thing on it. And then his son this year did some stupid shit. What was it, drunk driving or something?
Yeah, that was fucked.
It's just like, I love me Andy. Andy being on the Chiefs made me a Chiefs fan by proxy.
Which is totally fair. I've done that with a lot of players, and not really coaches, but players at least.
And I remember sitting there when Andy first went there, and I was like, man, Dwayne Bowe fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Catch the ball.
We put a lot in on that guy, too.
I was sitting there like, bro, what are these players? Andy just couldn't catch a break. What was that one D lineman that unfortunately took his life, like Andy's first year there?
Belcher.
Yeah.
Was that Belcher?
Javon Belcher.
Javon Belcher.
Like
he was I think he was like one of those linebacker hybrids. He always had the neck pad sticking out of like neck plate.
I remember the story came out where they were just like Andy, like he was in a like parking lot. Andy tried to like talk him out of it, and it didn't work.
Good fucking god, man.
And I was like, bro, this man can't catch a break. But I always love Andy. Andy never got us a Super Bowl, but Andy was literally a big part of my childhood to the point of like us seeing constant success.
Let's just hypothetically, Andy wins a Super Bowl this season and then retires. He is easily top 3 coach ever with no cheating asterisk by his name, right?
Shit, you could have said no rings and I would have put Andy at top 5. But if he wins a ring this year, Andy's up there with fucking Madden. Granted, Madden never had a losing season.
He's Hall of Fame.
But he's up
free.
there with Madden.
He's
definitely Hall of Fame. Because people were saying Andy was a Hall of Fame coach for what? He made 5 NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl appearance.
Oh, he was a Hall of Famer when he left the Eagles. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely was just like whatever. I would have been fine if they fired him as a coach and made him just a front office, like a GM. I would have been fantastic with that. And then he went to the Chiefs and he wins a couple, like, you know.
Turns the whole team around. Drafts Patrick Mahomes when everybody made fun of him for not drafting Deshaun Watson.
Well, look like how that turned out. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely one of those people because I was like, who the fuck is Patrick Mahomes? Deshaun Watson just beat Alabama in the national championship.
I swear to God, Neo went back and deleted his tweet because I've tried to find it on several occasions of Neo laughing LMFAO Mahomes when Watson's right there or some shit like that, and I've not been able to find that tweet. But Neo had the tweet out. Like, I see you guys.
Andy definitely. Andy's gonna retire in 2 different franchises. Like, he's the only coach I can think of that will retire for 2 different franchises.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of anybody else that has done this much.
Schottenheimer was Chargers and Chiefs. I don't think he won a bowl with either, but
No. Belichick was Giants and Patriots, and he was I think he was D coordinator when they had Lawrence Taylor.
good God, he's been around so long.
Yeah, he's been around a lot. But he's mainly been Patriots, so I think he's just one.
I didn't fully wrap my head around the Madden story until after he died. He was a coach for the Raiders. 70% win rate, which is ungodly. And then when he won the Super Bowl, he's like, yeah, you can't really go any higher than that. I don't really feel like doing it all over again. So I'm retired. He just bounced.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bounced. He could have won like 8 more bowls if he just would have stuck it out. He's like, nah, I conquered football. I'm good.
Best coach ever. I'm good. I've done it all. Yep, and he might just be the outlier of wherever he goes, success follows. Because my man had Alex Smith out here looking like a superstar and then immediately traded him.
Rip Schottenheimer. How long ago did Schottenheimer die?
Now I'm thinking about the assistant coaches. Like, the assistant coaching tree for Andy Reid is insane. Because from that tree, you have Ron Rivera, Sean McDermott, Spags, John Harbaugh.
Fucking Spags.
Yeah. Like, John Harbaugh was our special teams coach before he became the coach of the Ravens.
Spags is so weird because he either has the best defense in the league or the worst defense in the league. And when I say, I mean, like, he's either top 5 or bottom 5. And we got to see both of them with the Chiefs this season.
Yeah.
Spags is so weird with his, like, he's either on or he's not. And I don't know.
I just need... The only thing I want for Andy is to beat Brady or Belichick in the Super Bowl. I would have preferred it be both.
Yeah.
But I need Andy to get one of those things off his chest. Which is why I wanted the Patriots to make it. Like, I wanted Andy to beat Belichick with the Patriots and then beat Brady in the Super Bowl and then just fucking retire after that. There's literally no... You can't go higher than that. Because at this point, Belichick is... That man is definitely also top 3 coaches ever.
Yeah, that's why I said with no cheating asterisk by their name earlier.
Yeah, I figured that one. What y'all think the problem is in Dallas? The QB or the head coach? The owner?
Yeah, it's vehemently Jerry Jones.
It's like, Jerry can draft a hell of a team, though.
Yeah.
But his issue is he can't get out his own way. If Jerry... I feel like the Cowboys are cursed. The Cowboys are forever going to be cursed until Jerry Jones puts Jimmy Johnson into the Ring of Honor. Because Jerry wants to make it seem like that, oh, Jimmy didn't win those rings. I got us those rings. I'm the reason we won. And ever since he got rid of Jimmy, the Cowboys have been a poverty franchise. They are riding off the success of those 5 rings that they got before a majority of us were born. If you want to watch Cowboys highlights from 95, I hope you have a floppy disk converter. Or a VCR. Because since 95 to now, the Cowboys have won 3 playoff games. Count them, 3.
Good God.
How?
That's rough.
I think they're 3-14 in the playoffs.
Putting up Jets numbers. Except Jets don't make it to the playoffs.
I mean, hell, during that time, the Jets made it to back-to-back conference finals with Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan. Like
the Sanchez beat Brady and Belichick to get there.
Woo.
Meanwhile, goddamn Cowboys can't beat Joe Swanson.
I never wanted him anywhere near any of my teams, but I loved Rex Ryan solely for the fact that if you beat Rex Ryan's ass bad enough in a football game, he looked like he would want to meet you at the bar afterwards.
Yeah.
Just to beat the shit out of you. Rex Ryan would fight you in a bar is what I'm saying. Like yeah.
Hard Knocks was funny. Because he was just like, He was yelling at them for not giving full effort because the players were eating like cheeseburgers, like during like practice and training camp and stuff, and he got pissed. And he was like, "You got it? Yes, coach. You sure? Yes. Let's go get a fucking snack."
Good God.
It's just like, bro, how much? What?
Who was the old? I think it's Janikowski. I always get Janikowski and Gutowski mixed up. One of them was the old Patriots kicker. The other one's the old Raiders kicker.
Sebastian Janikowski and Steven. What's Gostkowski? Steven Gostkowski.
Yeah, there it is. Janikowski
was a monster.
Janikowski for the Raiders before, and I swear to God, every time he went out to kick, every single time he went out to kick, you would have thought he just slammed a six-pack. Like, that dude looked like he was just slamming beers over on the side, because the dude's huge, he's got a beer gut, and then he just go out there and boot the fuck out of the ball. I don't know.
It's them Russians. They called him, oh, I'm sorry, he's Polish. They call him the Polish Cannon. I forgot that was his nickname.
Go out there and boot the fuck out of that thing.
He played 19 years. Where did he got drafted? Okay, so Janikowski got drafted 17th overall. He was a first-round kicker in 2000.
Common.
If you draft a kicker in the first round now, you might get fired by day 2 of the draft. And man, was Janikowski worth it.
He was made for the Raiders, too. Like, this just, it all lined up. And not the Vegas Raiders. He would not... The Vegas Raiders could not handle him in the current climate. He was made for the Oakland Raiders.
Like, literally, they're two, but him and Shane... What was his name? Shane what? How do you say it? Shane Letcher? Shane
right.
Leckler? That was the punter that they drafted. When did they draft him? I think they drafted him the same year.
They go back-to-back kicker punter.
I don't think they went back. Hold on.
What up, Roscoe?
When was Shane Letcher drafted? They drafted him in the 5th round of the same year. So they picked up their franchise kicker and punter in the same draft.
Now you're set for 15 years because those guys never retire, so it's...
Yeah. Now, sadly, they're both retired now, but... Man. They had legs. And then you had Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay, like, a couple years ago, drafted a kicker in the 2nd round.
That's what Pimp's saying.
Everybody was like, what? And then he fizzled out.
I think it's got to be easier. You just set some money aside for, like, we're definitely going to sign a kicker one of these years, and you sign a kicker that already has established that they can kick in the NFL.
As we see here, the first season opener, his first ever game against the Chargers back when they were in San Diego, made 10 punts for a net average yards of 424 yards in general. As they won 9-6.
Casually punting over 40 yards per punt.
My man, 42.4 yard average. And they made the playoffs. They were 12-4.
Kickers are so finicky. Yeah, look at Kansas City. We have Harrison Butker, the guy who will easily drill it from 50 yards plus, but regularly misses PATs.
Sheesh, could be worse. Could have Cody Parkey.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with him, honestly. I'm happy with missing the occasional PAT because we know he's all reliable when he goes out to kick. But it's like, when we played the Cowboys, we had a penalty on us during the touchdown play or some shit like that. And they accepted it, and they opted to put it onto the field goal kick. Or we did an offsides. That's what it was. We had a false start on our PAT. And they could have either put it on the PAT and had us kick it again, or they could have put it on the kick, like the actual like the kickoff later, and Dallas elected to put it on the PAT, and I was like, you guys are making him stronger by backing him up. He is more accurate the further away he gets from that thing.
That's how Jake Elliott is for us last year. Like, Jake Elliott would be like, normal 30-yard chip shot. He missed it. Jake Elliott, 60-yard field goal, right down the middle. And I'm just sitting there like, bro, please, anytime we get within the 5 and we don't score a touchdown, let's just take a bunch of delay of games. and just keep moving back so he can make them.
I
I
do miss
believe in the
hang time
Madden
and punch.
curse. Didn't Brady beat that?
Did Brady
didn't-
beat that?
Didn't Brady have the Madden curse and then won a Super Bowl?
Yeah, sometimes it's delayed. Sometimes it hits like 2 seasons later. Somewhere along the line, that thing got snapped, but it was very, very real for a long time.
You think Allen, Mahomes, or Brady could ricochet the ball off the pads of another player to their target?
Nobody's doing that ever, Spando.
Interesting. But if we're talking about who's doing some crazy shit, probably Mahomes.
Yeah, also Mahomes is the only one to ever think about attempting anything like that either, if you're going that route. But
Y'all lucky we don't play NFL games with walls. Mahomes would start trying to do some NFL street shit, running off the wall, throwing it behind his back.
arena football, he'd look like a monster.
Dear God, he's not even scoring touchdowns. He's throwing it out the dome each time by accident.
Somebody brought up earlier, I miss when they put hang time up on for punts or whatever, but that made me think of when Dallas got their new stadium in the Jumbotron. For the first couple of games, punters were intentionally kicking the Jumbotron.
Well, in the beginning, it was too low.
Yeah, did they have to readjust it?
Yeah, they had to put it up higher. Because I remember, I watched the Pat McAfee show. Really love that pot, like that whole thing that he's doing.
Yeah,
Like it's super entertaining.
I like catching.
And he was just like, "We just be beaming that bad boy up there. You can still hit it now, but you have to intentionally try to hit it now."
Yeah, Pat McAfee had John Cena on the other week. I like that. I like those interviews.
John been rocking that Peacemaker outfit every time I see him in any source of media.
Yeah, John Cena and then The Rock not long after. Chad, have you guys watched Peacemaker on HBO Max? With John Cena? I haven't actually seen the Suicide Squad, but I watched the first 2 episodes of John Cena. I saw him naked a lot more than I'd hoped to, but...
Yeah. Oh, speaking of McAfee, he had Josh Allen on today. And Dana White.
Interesting combo.
Very interesting combo.
Pat McAfee was on Kent Murphy once. When he was still in the NFL, Pat McAfee and the long snapper for the Colts both went on Kent Murphy.
Gotta love it.
Peacemaker's so good. Peacemaker was weird as far as the first 3 episodes go because it kept me entertained, but I wasn't like, this is the fucking best. I was just like, it had my attention. I was watching, but I don't know. I feel like I could turn a corner.
I'm trying to figure out who I want to see on Pat McAfee, because Roman had a Pat McAfee interview like a couple months ago, I think. I remember reading that. Rogers shows up every Tuesday.
Yeah, which fucking... I don't want to say it. I like to push his anti-vax propaganda, but I don't want to go there.
He had Steve Smith on 5 days ago. Jordan Poyer, obviously John Cena. He had Barry Sanders.
Damn, badass.
Who else? He had Michael Cole on in studio, I think.
I saw a couple bits of that.
Yeah. I'm really liking that dynamic between those two on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Who else did he have on the show?
Thanks, Matt. This is the first time Cena's actually acted? That's not true at all. Cena's definitely been in movies for a while.
He was in Fast and Furious.
I have not seen that one.
He plays what's his name's brother, I think. The Fast and Furious movies are just at this point.
They're superhero movies.
Pretty much. The next one's the last one. What's his face? So The Rock and Vin Diesel talked privately, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm not fucking coming back. Your ego's fucking insane. I'm not dealing with this shit."
The Rock to Vin Diesel?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it was just like, he was complaining about Diesel, and Diesel was like, that's when remember when Vin Diesel made that Instagram thing? It was like, "All right, Rock, little brother," and all that shit. Like, it's time to bury the hatchet. My kids love you, and da 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 da. Let's finish the movie.
That making waves, yeah.
And that was after him and Dwayne talked privately, and Rock was like, I'm not doing this movie, bro. It's best for both of us if we don't have to do another movie together. So when Vin did that, and then they asked Rock about it, he was like, yeah, I didn't. It made me uncomfortable that he brought the kids into it.
Yeah, that's also goofy.
It was very, very weird.
But then I remember what's his face going, congratulations. He was upset that The Rock was in the movie, right? He wasn't getting enough money because The Rock was getting paid a bunch.
He was angry about that, and he was angry that The Rock did the Hobbs and Shaw thing, and didn't bring in the other Fast and Furious members into that movie. When the movie's literally called Hobbs and Shaw.
Vin
He also
Diesel.
said Paul Walker would have wanted it. That's right.
That's fucked. Laggy, think of
Yeah.
9 months.
You can't do that shit, bro. Oh, Goldberg was on the fucking Pat McAfee show. He was on for 30 minutes?
Yeah, I don't watch the I don't watch the live stream, but he uploads like 2 to 5 minute clips
Highlights
on
and-
Twitter, and I'll
Yeah.
watch those.
If it's a full interview, he'll have like the full interview and shit.
I gotta keep grinding the road. What was the last thing you saw, Elsnor, before the draft?
Oh my god, the 2020 draft.
Real one thing with 6 months. Yeah, so Elsnor, I talked him into, because he kind of asked if he should pick up the network and like catch up on wrestling, and I told him to start with when Roman came back and just follow the Roman storyline if he was gonna do it.
Yeah, that's smart.
And that's so he's been doing it. He's been going through it. So he just made it to the 2020 draft. But yeah, I was like, man, you get in there early. You watch the goddamn Jey Uso storyline. That's peak shit.
Good old times. I almost said some shit and then I stopped myself.
They were doing back-to-back flams. Like there's a couple times where like I wasn't a huge fan of how much interference happened. But if you look at the ending of the match between him and Drew at Survivor Series, and like I'm not trying to spoil Elsinore, but like you look at the ending of that match, or you look at the ending to WrestleMania, and it's like, god damn, there was some good shit that came out of there.
It got the stuff that's going on now. I'm just very confused as to what the fuck is happening anymore.
I haven't been able to DVR SmackDown in a week. So I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to do with Brock what I wanted them to do with Roman, and I think Brock is going to retain against Lashley and come out number 30 and win the Rumble.
See,
And then he's going to challenge Roman, and then he's going to get what he wants there.
I think mine's kind of the same thing on that to an extent where it's Brock's gonna do the champion versus champion thing at Mania and unify the belts. And then they're probably gonna stop doing fucking both shows are competing against each other.
I do think Brock will win that if they do it too, which is going to piss me off.
No, I doubt he wins that one. At this point, any other year I would agree. But the way that Roman's been on a fucking roll.
Well, they're giving him all the momentum. He doesn't really come out with the Usos that much anymore. They're kind of like letting them branch off. Paul's with Brock. Like, unless Paul flips back, that'd be something.
Well, you SmackDown you saw.
I haven't seen SmackDown in weeks. I catch the highlights on Raw because my DVR just will not fucking DVR SmackDown anymore.
So did you see the highlight of
I saw Paul telling him, he's like, I love you, and then Brock said shut up and Roman punched him. I saw that.
You know, it was a moment where he starts yelling at Paul and Roman goes, No.
Don't talk to him
Don't
like
talk
that.
to him like that.
Right after
and then
Roman was like,
he starts cussing
shit.
out Roman.
Yeah.
And then Paul goes, Brock,
Don't talk to him like
please
that.
don't talk to him like that. I loved you. Don't talk to me like that. I was like, what is happening?
Favorite era of wrestling has to be when Mankind was a thing. That was a really fucking good era of wrestling. That's a lot of people's favorite era of wrestling.
The one that I remember the most, where I grew up on it a lot, was definitely the arc of Jeff Hardy trying to catch that WWE title. And for a good couple years, he was like, that feud he had with Randy, dear God, that man, Jeff was almost the fucking death of me. Because I'm seeing him, I was like, yo, he built just like me for real. And he's jumping off cages, fucking whispering the wind off the top of the cell on Umaga. Fucking him and Randy fight out the ring and he jumps off the high beam, does a little swanton, and I'm just like, yo, if he can do it, I can do it. I remember I went to Hot Topic, bought a studded belt, had the little fishnet sleeves on my hands. I was like, I'm just gonna be Black Hardy. Is the name.
you knew Jeff was cool as shit because he'd climb to the top of that cage, and like the point of the cage match, chat, for anyone not versed in wrestling, is you get to the top and then you just go to the outside and win the match. And he'd get to the top of that cage, you'd be like, oh, he's gonna win, and then he'd turn around and look at them back down behind him, and he'd look back at the camera, and you'd know damn well he was not going to the outside. He was about to jump. Yeah, he's about to turn around and just jump their shit.
I thought he was gonna jump on Randy out the ring, and he was just like, "Nah, I'm just gonna kill the wild Samoan bulldozer in the ring." And then he'll like pin him, get up, and it's just like, "How the fuck did you get up so fast?" I'd still be reeling. I'd be selling the hell out of that Whisper in the Wind. I'd probably still be on the mat to this day, and it's been 12 years. Mankind was a that Undertaker match literally solidified him as one of the GOATs. Cause that shit, I feel like he would have been fine without that match, but that match in itself, that Hell in a Cell with Taker, literally fucking... Yeah, Foley can do no wrong after this. My man was out here dying.
Yeah, I'll let on thumbtacks and go through 6 tables. Sure, what of it?
Yeah, fuck it.
Let me pull the barbed wire out and then let me get hit with the barbed wire.
I mean, how... And he was putting folks over, too, with matches. Like, yeah, the match with Randy. Helped put Randy over a bit. That match with Edge at Mania was still crazy.
He went through the fire table, yeah.
The spear through the flaming table.
Edge, I know everybody likes Edge now because he came back, but Edge has so many old matches that are slept on. Edge has my favorite, second favorite WrestleMania Undertaker match. Because like the Shawn ones are really hard to beat, but Edge and Undertaker is fucking that whole match. The psychology behind it is insane.
Because I think at that point nobody kicked out of the Tombstone in like a decade at Mania. I think the last person to kick out of a Tombstone at Mania was Kane, and that was like the first
when Kane debuted. Damn near, yeah.
Yeah, like Kane still had the mask. And it was just like, and then nobody kicked out of the spear when Edge was on that run, and they both kicked out, and everybody was just like, what the fuck's gonna happen?
Yeah, well, the play up to that match is Edge kept telling him, he's like, Undertaker, you've been around for 20, 25 years. I know all your tricks. I grew up watching you. I know what you do, right? Like, everything you have, I'm gonna have a counter for it. And he kind of did in the match, but Taker was doing the Hell's Gates, which was new to him at the time.
Yeah.
So the way that match ends is Edge lines up a spear, he hits it. When he hits it, he leaves his arm dangle on the chest. The Taker just wakes up and puts him in the Hell's Gates, and he wasn't ready for it. And I was like, that's so fucking cool.
Like that. Edge has so many. Edge was always.
He doesn't do anything like crazy, but I just the way that matches go when he's in them was always like, I love that. Anytime Edge was up there, like. Short of like spearing Hardy off with the titles and all that shit, Edge was never like the high spot dude, but every time Edge was up there, I was like, I don't know what he's gonna do, but I know this match is gonna come out really good. And they usually did.
I mean, hell, Edge and Christian matches used to be fun.
Yeah.
Tag teams used to be phenomenal back in the day.
I feel like in WWE at least, tag matches have not been in like a great spot in a long time. There's been a couple times where they get close, but they've not been like fucking baller ass tag matches in a while.
I think the last really fucking good one that we saw was New Day versus Usos versus Lucha Dragons in TLC.
Yeah.
That fucking ladder match was insane.
They let them go nuts. Because the Mania match where the Hardys came back, that was pretty hype.
Definitely, because everybody thought it was going to be fucking the New Day as the fourth team. And it kind of made me, in a sense, where I was like, okay, so Enzo and Cass are going to fucking win these titles.
I had a DM from somebody earlier in the day, and I don't know, if I knew they were okay with me saying it, I would say it, but I don't know if they're okay with me saying it or not. But I knew, because they knew somebody who knew like Meltzer or some shit. And they were telling me, yeah, the Hardys are coming back tonight. They're going to be the new team. So if, like, not that anybody's going to care enough to go back and line it up, but if you go back and line it up, I was tweeting delete GIFs about 1 minute before the Hardys actually showed up on TV or whatever. Because I was like, when I saw the New Day come out, I'm like, oh shit, it's actually fucking happening.
I thought they were going to come out Raw after Mania. Because there was this,
yeah.
So I basically get all my shit at Bleacher Report. And Bleacher Report was like, "Oh yeah, like they were spotted like nearby," and I was like, "Huh." So maybe it's not gonna be Raw after Mania.
Yeah, because well, they were going through a run where they were like losing their tag titles in other places or whatever. So everyone's like, yeah, they're coming, and Raw after Mania just made the most sense, or like even a week after that, so they could finish losing their titles, and then
Yeah.
fucking the blind side.
I think our new age tag teams that have always been good are just like New Day and Usos. Like anytime they're in a ring together, that shit's just they work so well.
Have there been other tag teams that have actually like hung around to that degree, other than New Day and Usos for this era generation of tag team?
No, every time we get one, it's just like they break up or do some other shit. Cause like we had the Bar, and they broke up. We had Cesaro and Tyson Kidd.
Well, and if you're gonna do that, and granted the New Day has Kofi, but like I feel like when I look at things like the Bar or RK Bro or whatever, I feel like that's two individual stars who are just doing a good job as a tag team.
Yeah,
but
New Day's the outlier. They're the outlier because they were just three individual. I mean, hell, Kofi was an Intercontinental Champion. Big E at that point was an Intercontinental Champion at one point. And Xavier was just kind of like floating. And then he just pops the idea to Vince, who was like, yeah, how about we just do this? And they was like, all right, power positivity.
Yeah, and then Vince goes, actually, you're a black church choir. And then they made it work anyway, and then they got to do what they wanted, so.
And it was just like, well, here's the thing. They're booing the fuck out of us, so why don't we go heel? And Vince goes, they're not gonna boo Kofi Kingston. And Xavier just hits him with, what a fucking bet.
Bet my career on it.
I'll put my career on the line. And then, lo and behold, look at them now. Shield didn't have a long enough run.
Shield, I hope they go in the Hall of Fame as a group, but that's like a Four Horsemen scenario where they are.
Yeah.
They're made to be individual superstars. On top
like Shield had a year. Or like 2 years together.
Somebody said Street Profits. I personally don't love the Street Profits yet. I love watching fucking Montez do a frog splash.
I love Montez.
I love watching Montez and Seth both compete to see who can jump out of the building first with a frog splash. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not like in love with the Street Profits myself.
There was the rumor is that Montez is eventually they're gonna break him up and turn Montez into a single star.
Yeah, I kind of figured I saw that one coming.
Plus, I think he's married to Bianca Belair too, so that kind of just solidifies both of them being on Raw. Yeah, Montez's frog splashes are fucking insane. Love me some Montez, especially after they win a match and he does the little Batista the rope fucking swing and he loses his goddamn mind.
Yeah. Hey, I was thinking Montez. I was like, there's nobody who even gets close to Montez, and then I saw Seth do a frog splash like a week or two ago, and Seth got fucking up there too. I was like, that might be Montez Ford height because it's insane. Are they better
than RV? No.
Rob Van Dam had a clean frog splash, but I genuinely believe Montez and/or Seth get higher than RVD.
They get higher, but technique-wise, I give it to RVD and Eddie. Eddie's frog splash out here won him championships.
Oh yeah, what the fuck ever happened to Kurt Angle's son, quote unquote, that Chad Gable was with?
Yeah, he's just kind of, I don't know. I think he's still on the payroll, backstage and stuff, but he doesn't really do anything. The person that he was teamed up with is with Otis. I remember the Boogeyman. That guy was something else. So there's this channel on YouTube that goes back and from someone's debut to when they stop wrestling, goes back and grades their matches to make it seem was that person really that good or were y'all just nostalgiaing it? He went back and did CM Punk's run in TNA. God awful run.
Well, he was trying to be like Raven or something, right?
Yeah,
he was copying
Raven. Up with Raven and stuff like that. I think Stevie Richards was there at one point. Just a terrible fucking run. Bell to Bell? No, that's not the channel. It's called like Marquee D or some shit. Hold on. If I don't look this up, it's gonna fucking kill me.
Broken Neck, he's now a producer. Who? Jason Jordan?
Yeah, it's Marquee D123. The thing's called Ring of the Hawk. Well, the series is, but it's Marquee D123. The series is called Bell to Bell. I literally just told you what it was called. I literally just told you it was called Ring of the Hawk. Because I'm looking at it right now.
Mom, you don't know what the thing you're trying to tell everyone is.
I was just like... I was just sitting here and I was like, bro, I see it right now. Rikishi and TNA, a terrible promo, and the Reverse Battle Royal. Ring of the Hawk Season 1.
What are your thoughts on Jeff's TNA run? Which one? The one that ended with him getting drugged up in the ring and Sting had to put him down real quick? Get him out of there to avoid disaster?
His second one was better than the first one, because the first one was like a year. And then he came back.
Hey, Michael Michelson, how you doing?
There's another one that is similar, just not being graded. I mean, I'm sure there is. But that wasn't what I was talking about.
Tom is just telling you guys about the one that he watches, chat. Speaking of chat. Chat, we did a solid little 5 hours of big chilling today. Hey, baby.
Hi.
But chat, I am getting hungry, as it were. So if y'all don't mind, we're gonna go graze. You guys want to watch an art stream? Known community member Sheffy XO.
I didn't even know she was streaming.
Currently streaming some emote commission. She's doing what appears to be a static shock emote. That looks sick.
When the fuck did she go live?
1 hour and 35 minutes ago.
Why did I not get the notification?
Chat, go say hey to Sheffy for me. Let her know how you think of her drawing. Let her know her emotes are good. She's drawing good emotes out there. Appreciate y'all. I'll be back again sometime. Punished out. Peace late. Here with home. Y'all have a good night, everybody.
Finally, now I can say the things I want to say.
Hold on, I'm still live.
Huh?
The raid went through, but I'm still live, so if anybody watches the VOD,